Hey everybody, it's Febury. How are you today? Hope everybody's having a great day. So let's get started. I know some of you saw this title, Why Hoes Are Winning, and you're like, what the hell is going on? So let's get started. As always, my name is Febury Hassan, and I'm a relationship and personal development coach. And the premise behind all of my work is that every relationship you're having is ultimately a reflection of the one that you're having with yourself. And your relationships are just barometers that show you where you are and can help you become better when you get to the underlying belief systems that have created those relationships. That's the premise behind all my work. Additionally, I always tell people I'm not selling anything, so consider this your dressing room. You can try it on. If you like it, wear it. If you don't, leave it right here because I'm not selling anything. But I do have a set of fundamental beliefs I'd like to share with everybody. So I'm going to jump right in. So it was like, hey, D, what's up, Dana? The concept when I say why hoes are winning. First of all, I want to be very clear. I don't believe in the word hoe. Okay, I just like the title, but we're going to talk about it from your other people's concept of a hoe. But I don't believe in that word. I don't use the word thoughts, hoes, or anything like that in my everyday life. But I do understand the concept that people are talking about. So that's what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to share with you today. Why hoes are winning. And it's not sexual, it's not as sensational as everybody would like to think it is. It's really something that this so-called hoe has that the good girl doesn't, or the good girl is not willing to portray. And it's really about meeting basic human needs. So we're going to jump right into that. So if you have been with me through any of my other lives, you know that I've talked about, let's see, our beliefs and our perspectives, the payoffs we have in relationships. We talked the other day about it's not you, it's them, it's not them, it's you. So let's just jump right into this. Why are hoes winning? And it's really interesting when I think about the concept and the beliefs that we have, or men. Let's talk about men. We're going to talk about men and women because these things are actually interchangeable. So we're going to start off talking though about this concept because I'm sure women are like, well, what the hell is she about to say, right? I know y'all like, because I'm really not going to say anything as sensational as it sounds. But this concept that men like hoes. Right? But they married this good girl. And that marrying the good girl really does have a fundamental, deep-rooted belief system in who and what we're supposed to be involved with in relationships. Has nothing to do with anything other than that, than simple belief systems and what people say we're supposed to do. But oftentimes it's not meeting our needs. And that's what we're about to get into. But I've noticed that these same men will marry amazing women. At least on the surface, we're like, wow, she's awesome. She's beautiful. She's intelligent. She seems to have a lot going on for herself. She's a fantastic mother. And yet they will get with a woman that doesn't have an ounce of that in comparison. And, we're like, this hoe, right? She done ruined the family. She's, a home wrecker, what have you. And the other woman may not even, from our perspective, outside looking in, hold a candle to his woman. But I'm about to tell you something about that candle that she holds. Because remember, sometimes I'm talking to men, I'm like, you know what? There have been 1,000 ships launched over a so-called hoe. That's pretty damn powerful. Empires have been ruined over a so-called hoe. Reputations have been destroyed over a so-called hoe. Families have been dismantled over a so-called hoe. Bank accounts have been depleted over a so-called hoe. So that is a pretty powerful individual. And we're going to say individual. I'm not going to say a woman because it could actually, the tables could be turned. But oftentimes it is a woman. And this is kind of a male-female dynamic we're talking about here. Hey, girl. That is really what we're really talking about here. And why is it that a man particularly will get with a woman and who seems like she's sweet and wonderful and beautiful and will lose everything over a so-called hoe? Like, why would he do that? And we're going, And from a female perspective, I will tell you, most women are like, has he lost his damn mind? And we're going to talk about both sides of this guy. So trust me, I'm going to really delve into both sides. But what we're really going to talk about right now is this so-called hoe knows how to meet needs. And we're not talking about sexual needs, people. So I want you to, right here, right now, I want you to get that out of your head. Get the sexual aspect of this out of your head because we're not even going to talk about sex except for maybe this much because, it's always got to talk about sex because, it really is a real part of everything that we do. We're sexual beings. But ultimately, hoes meet needs. And what is happening is two things are going on. And I'm going to discuss two things today. And I'm going to be fleshing this conversation out over the next couple of weeks. But two things are going on that I'm going to talk about today. One is something Tony Robbins talks about. It's the 6 basic human needs. And I'm about to delve into those right now. I'm going to read off my notes to make sure I get them all right for you. But the first basic human need is certainty. We all have a need to feel certain about something. And that's really equates to security. Let's be very clear. Certainty equals security. So this is very clear. Certainty equals security. The next basic human need we have is variety. And that's for a sense of uncertainty. If things are always certain. So certainty is food, clothing, shelter. I need to know where I'm going to be, where, what my job is, just a sense of certainty about things. When we're uncertain, we're uneasy, it causes anxiety, and it wreaks havoc. So we have to have a certain sense of certainty in our lives about things, okay? So certainty equals security. So whatever makes you feel secure, be it financial security, certainty in love, certainty in friendships, we have to have a certain amount of certainty. Again, certainty equals security. The second thing we have to have, believe it or not, is the counter or the juxtaposed to that is variety, a sense of uncertainty. We have to have a sense of mystery. We have to have something that kind of throws things off balance, because again, if we don't, we become stagnant. We become complacent. We don't appreciate what we have because, as we talked the last time, there's no contrast. So we have to, at the same time, as much as we have certainty, has variety, which creates our sense of contrast. We got it? We got it. Y'all say yes, yo, got it, no, okay. Talk back to me, as the preacher used to say. I need y'all to talk back to me today, okay? The second one is significance. We have to feel significant, okay? I don't know if anybody's wheels are chiming when I'm talking about this so-called hoe and how some of these things are already playing out in your mind and how this person adds value to this other person's life by meeting these basic needs. But significance is having meaning. I'm important to someone. I'm important to something. So significance is very important. And having a person feel significant in a relationship is huge, right? The other one is we have to have love and connection. We all understand that everybody needs to feel loved and connected to someone, something. And ultimately, it's really usually to someone. But there are people who choose some things, but most of us really want someone. The next one is to feel growth. We have to feel as though we're growing, that we're not stagnant, that we're expanding beyond where we are. Again, we talked one time before about, life is kind of like a heart monitor. It has to go up and down. It has to go up and down. Anytime it flatlines, we have a problem. So that's where the growth comes in. We have to feel like we're growing. Even if sometimes we dip, we still have to feel like we're moving, we're expanding ourselves. And the last one, is contribution. We have to feel like we contribute something to the world, whatever that may be. We have to feel like we give something back. So let's go back to this in these so-called hoes, right? So that was the first part I was going to talk about. Keep those 6 basic human needs in mind as we talk about why hoes are winning. And then we're going to talk about the other side of that is the masculine and feminine dynamic. Is that men are primarily masculine and men and women are primarily more feminine. And we all know that we both have both aspects. We both have feminine energy. We both have masculine energy. But for some reason, the way the universe decided to make it out is that men tend to encapsulate more masculine, whereas women tend to encapsulate more feminine, right? We got that. Most of us understand that. Y'all got it? Cool. Okay, so there's 2 things. So we're going to talk about the masculine and feminine aspect, and we're going to just touch on this today. And then we're going to talk about the 6 basic human needs, and we're really going to delve into that. So the first thing that hoes create is a sense of security. Now, you may think like, wait a minute, as his woman, let's just talk about maybe men that are cheating. As his woman, you may think you're creating a sense of security with the man, but he needs to feel certain that you love him, that you honor him, and that you respect him. I'll be very clear, ladies. If you hear me say nothing else today, I'm going to say, this is for the ladies right now. Men, I'm going to get to you. If you hear me say nothing else today, men with respect and love are synonymous. Please hear me. Respect and love are synonymous. If you are yelling at him, if you're attempting to emasculate him, if you are, again, just simply not respecting him and what he views as respect, I don't care what you say. If your actions are not showing that you respect him, he does not hear that you love him. And men also don't hear past a certain octave. I don't know what that octave is. But if you're yelling at him, you best believe, 1, he does not feel respected. And 2, he does not feel loved. And 3, he has not heard you. He heard a damn thing you said, ladies. If you are yelling, or being disrespectful, that man has not heard anything you said. Now, if you want to yell, just get some steam off your chest, by all means, yell your behind off. But I promise you, he has not heard anything that you said, because he does not feel respected. So therefore, he does not feel loved. And everything, I don't care how much sense you are making. If you were talking above a certain octave, he did not hear you. He did not hear you, because he does not perceive you as respecting him. So therefore, he does not perceive you as loving him. If I can give you any tips, if you leave here with nothing today, ladies, learn to lower your voice when you really want to be heard. When you really, truly want to be heard, learn to lower your voice. It is paramount. You will get so much more done, so much more understanding when you lower your voice. There's a whole bunch of other things that go on, but if nothing else, learn to lower your voice. Because for some reason, and I don't know all the ins and outs of a man and what his neurons are going on, but he cannot hear you past a certain octave. Once it gets past that disrespectful octave in his mind, and maybe to learn your own man's threshold, he no longer hears you. He can't receive what you're saying because he feels disrespected. So because men equate respect and love, it's important he feels respected. So he needs a certain sense of certainty and respect from you. And if you're not giving him that in the household, say you're yelling, nagging, his perception of disrespectful. Again, I'm not placing blame. I'm talking about basic human needs. This has nothing to do with blame, nothing about her being right, him being right, her being wrong, him being wrong. This is basic human needs. When you are not making him now feel secure and that you respect him, you are not meeting a basic human need. Okay? Trust me. One reason men love hoes is because there's a sense of certainty that she is respecting him. Because again, it's a two-way street. There's something she feels certain about with him, and oftentimes it is money. It may be position, it may be power, but because she gives him, vice versa, he gives her a certain amount of certainty. She in turn then gives him a certain amount of certainty, which often equals respect. Because she respects him, he feels as though she loves him. His girl at home may be nagging, yelling at him, and she may be perfectly justified. Please understand, I'm not talking about justification. I'm talking about human needs. She may very well feel justified in her behavior. He could be a complete asshole. I got you. But please understand, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about basic human needs and needs being met. So if you as his primary woman are disrespectful, yelling, nagging, not giving him a sense of certainty, which equals security, which equals respect for him, you're not meeting his primary basic human need. The hoe very well may be. Because she understands, either consciously, subconsciously, or, because again, she has something she wants as well, because he now meets her needs for certainty, which is security. She in turn gives him that. That's one reason the hoe is winning. The second one is variety. She's passionate, she's fun, she's exciting. She's something new. You may have gotten caught into a rut in a routine. You may have decided, look, I'm tired, which you are justifiably tired. Again, this is not about placing blame. You may be going to work, you may be taking care of the kids, you may be doing a gamut of things, a whole menagerie of different things that cause you to not want to present this sense of excitement and passion and variety. However, the hoe is, and she's doing that for him. And now she's like, okay, he is like, okay, I have certainty in my life, which is a basic human need. I feel secure because I feel respected. And then now she also is given a sense of variety. And that's the uncertainty. I don't always know what's going to come up next with her. I can't always guess what's going to happen with her, which also feels good. The third one is significance. With her, he feels significant. He feels important. With you, he may no longer feel significant and important. Ladies, I'm going to let you on a little hint. A man that loves you wants to please you. A lot of women have a hard time hearing that, receiving that, because of past experiences and things that we've had happen to us, and thinking, yeah, right. No, a man that loves you, it is his honor. It is his privilege to please you. He wants you happy. He wants nothing more than to see that beautiful smile on your face, to hear you laughing and being happy. It is his pleasure to do that for you. However, if you don't make him feel significant in your life, if you're minimizing his efforts, if you're minimizing the things that he does for you, if you don't find value in those things, if you're telling him he's not good enough, he's not doing enough, he's not going to feel significant, and you're not meeting a basic human need. And again, ladies, I'm not picking on you because trust me, we're going to flip this whole script. So it is not about, we're going to flip the script on the other side and say why your behavior may very well be what it is and how men are not meeting your needs as well. So I'm not picking on my girls. So everybody can be like, girl, stop. No, I'm not picking on my girls. I'm just letting you know that this is where, again, why hoes are winning. These women you perceive as hoes, why they can come in and create these positions in their lives is because they understand some basic human needs that you have not either don't understand or you have forgotten or you're not willing to provide. And we all need them. Period. There's no one who's outside. We all need to feel these particular things. So she's making him feel significant. And he loves that. Who does not want to feel important in someone's life? Who does not want to feel honored in someone's life? She's making him feel that way. She's showing up like that for him. The other one, obviously, is love and connection. You may have lost your love and connection in your relationship. You may no longer feel connected to one another. You may no longer see where your shared values and sense of love for things are important. And now she does. Okay, so those first four are basic to every single human being, no matter what. And we have to provide them for one another, or we will not meet one another's needs. And oftentimes in cases, women, unbeknownst to ourselves, the past relationships, past habits, what have you, are failing to meet those needs. And therefore, we're failing our partners in the relationship. The last two, growth, are often more internal to feel as though you're growing, but you also feel like are you growing in the relationship? Is the relationship feeling stagnated? Am I contributing something to the relationship? Am I contributing fundamentally to someone else and to my partners? Am I creating value to them in and where they are? Stop, Reese's. Sorry, that was my cat, guys. Are we contributing? So that is a way that hoes are winning, ladies. So again, don't get caught up in your mind like, I cannot believe she's beating us up like this, because I'm not beating us up. I'm telling us how to be empowered. As I said before, you're never without power, because real power lies within. You're never without power. It's always within. When you know better, you have an opportunity to do better, because ultimately all of us want healthy, happy, amazing relationships. And the only person that can create that for you first and foremost is you. So we can talk about what someone else needs to be doing, but until we talk about what we need to be doing, it doesn't matter what anyone else needs to be doing. Until we talk about what do I need to be doing in this relationship to make it better, to make it more abundant. So we can get angry and say that's not fair, but it doesn't matter, because the only person you can ultimately control is you. And when you know you're giving that, and you're meeting basic human needs, and that person, maybe they have some blocks, and you have the right to say, well, I'm going to step away from this. But the likelihood of you stepping away from someone, or them even allowing you to step away, you're meeting basic human needs, is slim to none. I promise you that. The other half that we're going to talk about is this masculine and feminine dynamic. We talked about men equating respect with love. Guys, I'm about to talk to you. Women equate security with love. If you're not making her feel secure, and this is her primary, that's i.e. certainty, if you don't make a woman feel secure, you've already lost her. And it's simple things. We're learning to trust you with the simplest of things. i.e., I'll give you a prime example, and I hear women talk about this all the time. You said you were going to call her back. Said, I'm going to call you back, babe. I'm going to call you 8, or I'm going to call you late. I'm going to call you back. You don't call back. It seems like for you, I got busy, I got tied up. For her, what she heard was, even on a small level, I can't trust your word. Because see, I want to trust you. As a woman, I want to trust you. As women, we want to trust you. We want you to be that place that we go to that is strong and safe. But if I can't trust you with something as simple as returning a phone call, you are now making it more difficult for me to start to trust you with the bigger things, because we don't oftentimes create a puzzle with big things, but it's little pieces that are connected together. So I'm learning to trust you with the little things. Something as simple as saying, I'm going to call you back, and you don't, starts to create uncertainty in her, a sense of, I don't know if I'm safe here. And when a woman doesn't feel safe, doesn't feel secure, she can't love you. Because you are her safety, her security. Even when she has her own money, If you're sitting at home chilling and she's the one out there making all the money, even if she doesn't need your money, she doesn't feel secure with you because she doesn't know what may very well happen next. If you are always hanging out with your boys, and it could very well be because of how she's nagging or making you feel or whatever. Again, we can only be responsible for ourselves, not the other person. I've talked about my girls. Only people we can be responsible for are ourselves. If you are not present to her, she is not going to feel safe and secure with you. If she doesn't feel secure with you, she can't give you love. And nor can she respect you, which you need from her. And I hope you guys are starting to tie some of these things in together. For a woman, security equals love. Make me feel secure. Give me a certain amount of certainty. And I promise you, I'm going to feel loved. And then in turn, I can start giving you, the man, the respect that he needs from me for him to get his level of certainty. But if you're not making me feel secure, all bets are off. If you're not present to me, if you're not calling me when you say you're going to call, the small things, I'm not going to feel secure. And therefore, I'm not going to feel loved. Because the two go hand in hand. And until we start meeting one another's basic human needs, and ladies, again, I'm talking back to us, because again, I'm a woman. I'm not a man. I don't try to be a man. I'm a woman. And I believe in exerting a certain amount of feminine energy, and that we have lost that we have become so masculine in our society as women. And so much of it has been a defense mechanism. But there were some really powerful things that happened. Thanks, Mark. I was like, what? There were some really powerful things that happened several years ago. And we used to say, oh, relationships used to be better. I don't really know if they were better. But I will say one thing that we did understand was the give and take, the masculine and the feminine. And that though we are equals, and I understand as women why we wanted to say we're equals, because we want our equal human rights. And everyone should have equal human rights, okay? If I work, I want to get paid for it. I want to be treated with a certain amount of respect and dignity. I don't want my body to be abused. Yes, we need a certain amount of human rights. But I want to be very clear about my belief system. We're equals, but we are not the same. We are equals, but we are not the same. What we do for one another as basic human needs may be the same, but they're not going to be the same way. The way I pour into him is not the way he pours into me. My responsibility, listen, I need him to go out here and secure this, go secure that bread, go do what you do, baby. Even when I work myself, him going out and doing that shows me that he is protecting me and I feel secure. My responsibility is once he comes in is to nurture him, to give him the strength to go back out there and do it again and again and again. And every time he comes back, my responsibility is to love on him, to nurture him, to support him, to pour into him, because he is now creating security for me. And in turn, he pours into me, making me feel safe and secure. And I can be this vulnerable little girl that I need to be for him, so that I don't have to be hard and strong and masculine all day long. But we have lost that balance, people. We've lost that balance. And again, this goes back to why I say hoes are willing, because they have however it happened, learn to create that balance in their relationships with their men, to be that soft feminine energy for them. And it has to start somewhere. So ladies, I'm going to say this to you. Stop worrying about his position. Play yours and ensure that you attract a man that's going to play his. If he's not doing that for you, then you have all rights to back off and move away. But first and foremost, get in your position. Don't tell someone else how to play theirs and you're not in yours. And I'm going to say this as well. This whole idea that, we can all do the same thing. There is no team on the planet. I don't even watch sports. But I know enough that everybody can't play center. Everybody can't play guard. Everybody can't play the same position. But we're an important team. And we each have to play an important role, an important position. And as ladies, our role is to be that feminine energy. And there are times we're going to have to be masculine. If my baby falls, listen, I got to pick up some pieces. He knows that's who he's with. But in the meantime, in between time, when everything is going a certain way and things are pretty much kosher, play your position, ladies. And that position is your feminine energy. It is your softness. It is your place where he wants to go out and conquer the world, to come back to you. Because now he knows he's safe See, he created safety for you. You created safety for him, but you just didn't do it the same way. But you're both meeting one another's basic human needs and giving each of one another what you need. But it starts with someone somewhere. And the only person you can take responsibility for is yourself. So why you get mad at brothers that aren't doing what they're supposed to do? And I'm going to tell you, it's a whole bunch of brothers aren't doing what they're supposed to do. But I'm going to even come back, though, ladies, and say this to you. Are you doing what you're supposed to do? Why are you pointing the fingers at him? Is he doing X, Y, Z? Are you doing as a woman? Are you exhibiting your beauty and your magnificence? Are you showing up in your feminine energy? Are you meeting his basic human needs? So that you have a leg to stand on, that you can say, hey, I'm valuable, I'm important, and this is what I bring to the table, but I haven't met a man yet. Then when you truly meet his basic human needs and you're creating certainty and variety and significance and love, he's trying to walk away from that, because the sad truth is a lot of people aren't doing that. But when you wonder why they're launching 1,000 ships and destroying empires and emptying bank accounts over so-called hoes, it's because they're meeting basic human needs that your degrees, sister, I love you because I'm smart as hell too, don't meet his basic human needs. Your big house is a nice perk and all, but it doesn't meet his basic human needs. Okay? Your well-spoken etiquette does not meet his basic human needs. We have to meet one another at our basic human needs. We have to make each other feel significant. Those things are wonderful. They're great perks. But are we making one another feel significant? Are we creating variety in our relationships? Are we helping one another grow? Are we helping our partners feel significant? Those are the things that's going to put you in the winner's seat and will put you in the place of the hoe that gets launched 1,000 ships for. Because at this point, you might want a few hoe-like tendencies, right? You just might want a few. Because obviously she's winning. And it's because of these things, not because she's better than. It's because we have to understand what gets a person's attention is not what you're selling, it's what I need. Please understand me. What does he need? What does she need from you? And ladies, I'll be honest with you. It has always been, the reason I'm talking so much to us, because from the beginning of time, it has always been, we create the standard. We create it. And that's why I'm talking to us, because when you meet his needs, again, it is his pleasure. I have never met a man that did not love a woman and did not want her to be happy. Particularly when she meets his needs. When she creates that soft place for him, when she creates an environment where he feels significant, he feels respected. Again, remember, respect equals love for a man. When he feels that, it is his honor, it is his pleasure to go out every day and hunt the lions and tigers and bears and protect you. And oh my, you're winning. You got it. So I am really trying to empower you to understand that if you really want healthier relationships with men, again, ladies, I'm talking to us because why? The only person I can control is me. Me. I want you to attract to you the very thing that you desire the most, is a healthy, beautiful, amazing relationship. So for me, I'm looking at the person in the mirror. And the next person I look at are people that are closest to me, and it's my beautiful sisters that look like me, and I'm talking to you, is to learn to first and foremost, if you're going to engage with a man, respect him. Give him what he needs so that you can get what you need. So let's talk about this side of it. We are ultimately as human beings selfish. Nobody's doing this. Remember I talked before, it's a payoff to this thing. There's a payoff into everything that we do. And we're selfish as human beings because we have needs. And so therefore we're giving in order to receive. And it doesn't have to be a negative selfish. Okay, if you want your plants to grow, you give them some water because you want them to grow. You want them to be beautiful. You want a beautiful yard, what have you. So if you want to have a healthy, productive relationship with the man, you give him what he needs to grow. You give him what he needs to feel significant. And in turn, he will give you the security that you need. He can then give you the strength that you need so that you can be this vulnerable little girl and don't have to go out and fight the lions and tigers and bears. That's his job. Your job is to keep him strong to go out and fight the lions and tigers and bears so that you don't have to. Because I know for me and so many of my sisters, it's tiring. It's exhausting. We don't even want to do it. We do it because we feel like we have to. But for many of us, because we don't feel like we have the tools to know how to do something different. So, and for my brothers, it really is your responsibility to make me feel secure. It is your responsibility, particularly when I'm giving you what you need, to make me feel secure. So if my security comes with, when you say you're going to call me, you call me. It makes me feel secure. And when I feel secure, I want to pour more into you. If my security comes with these lights staying on, make sure these lights stay on. Because then I have respect for you and knowing that you're the person that helped to provide that. We do need each other. This whole idea, I don't need a man. I don't know who said that and what nut ever came out their mouth with such a statement. But we do need each other. We need and we have to pour into one another. It is incumbent upon us to give one another what we need because no one else can. It's just us. It's only two sexes on the planet. That's it. That's it. Just one human race. This is it. We need one another, and we have to start to meet these basic human needs. And ladies, again, this is why your so-called hoes are winning. They're meeting basic human needs. And many of us have forgotten how to do that or don't know how to do that. The next time we talk, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk about the masculine and feminine energy and how it impacts our relationships and how we're out of balance and it's preventing us from getting our needs met and getting what we want. So again, thank you for joining me. I hope you learned something today. If you want to holler back at me, feel free. I'm Febury Hassan. And remember, you're never without power because power lies within. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Hope you learned something today. Talk to you soon. Peace.